Hello. So, wait, fine. Hey everyone. This is Ronit, maintainer of GitMesh, and today, welcome to the weekly dev call of GitMesh. And since some of the active contributors have their exams in this week, so most probably they won't be joining. But I'll be just sharing some of the infos we have done in last week and what we'll be doing in the next upcoming week so that whosoever will be seeing in from YouTube, they can just know that what's going to happen here. So let's start the meet. So uh, once again, hey everyone, this is Project Gitmas, which is an open source tool which collects market signal from different social media platforms and just converts that into a very fruitful feature which developer can directly access and basically work upon it. So this is a core theme and we are just building it right now under Celebrity. Let's start. So code of conduct, basically this PPT does not contain any kind of commercial advertisement or any kind of commercial tools, products, books, all the materials which are contained in this PDF or PPT is just open source and anyone can use it for info. Yeah, anyone can join the live weekly dev call on Wednesday at 8 p.m. IST. And there are some of the privacy policies and terms of use which you can see from this link and also the link of our official repository is also mentioned here, which you can just check out. So let's move on forward. So basically, agenda for today is just what we did in last week's recap, and some of the problem statement which we'll be focusing for the next 1 or 2 week. What will be the next week's plan and some Q&A theme. So start the meet. So basically, in the last week, we have done kind of very fruitful work. As if you ever have used this, then you have seen that it takes around 15 to 20 minutes to just build a complete Docker build for this project. And actually, if you see, that's a long use amount time. And even if you try to close the build, or let's say even if the build is complete and server is running and you just want to or do some changes and rebuild it again using the same generic .cli dev command, then at that time too, it doesn't just rebuilds the changed file or changed Docker repo. It just rebuilds again, tries to rebuild the complete application, which feels which creates a lot of friction in the development process. So we just found that issue is very crucial. Earlier, we were more of shipping features and all the stuff, but right now, fixing this has become a great bottleneck, and I just felt that we should fix this as soon as possible. So right now, we've implemented some of the PRs which has got merged last week, which I had created. Basically, first one was that we removed Kafka from Docker right now, since we weren't using Kafka for any significant feature. And so right now it is we just felt it better to just remove Kafka from the dependency and also it somewhat boost up the Docker build because since Kafka is not there, so it and Kafka is kind of very image. So yeah, it somewhat makes the application more faster. Apart from that, yeah, another changes was that we just removed Olama from the Docker build, and we just hope and just updated a doc that anyone who wanna connect with the Olama, they can just basically run Olama locally and accordingly just connect that Olama server to the GitMesh, and which can be connected easily or directly. If you have just Olama running in your PC, it will automatically identify that official Olama URL, and it will just connect directly. You don't need to do any other stuff. But from that, since we have removed Kafka and Olama, so we have updated all the logs file and PNPs. And right now, the state is that since there is no Olama and Kafka dependency, so now Docker build is much more faster, and you can just start the application with .cli dev with a more fewer containers to start, and which will be a more faster build. So yeah, so as this was this last week's PR, and apart from that, there are some of the problems which taking place, which we had said you that it takes around 15 to 20 minutes to build a complete Docker build, which is a huge amount of time if you see. And yeah, so the main reason that this takes this much amount of time because there are some of the workers, independent workers, cloud connectors, scrapers, which we have integrated. And all those workers have their independent Docker build, which runs directly. And since they have an independent Docker build, so and each of the Docker build has their its own install lib package command. So because of that, every worker just creates installs its lib command every time, although they might be using duplicate packets themselves. But since every package is reinstalled around 10 to 12 times again and again, and that takes a huge amount of time in the complete Docker build. Apart from that, all the surveys are built in serially and not parallelly, even though they are not related to each other. And basically, if we try to change, if you try to change any of the library or any of the component of the complete build, and we try to rebuild again, then in the rebuild process, it just rebuilds a complete application again without and not just rebuilding the part of the code which was just changed. It just rebuilds a complete application again. So this is a core problem which we should face, we're facing, and it's just that it's a lot of time taking and very repetitive. So being a dev, removing this repetitive dependency will help us a lot. So here are the some of the next week's plan which we will be working on. First of all, we'll try to just remove the install package installation from all different workers and try to come up with a more shared library kind of system so that we don't need to have similar kind of multiple packages for different workers. Having everything in one place should also can also be a very good implementation. We'll just go with this and we'll just make sure that code doesn't break. Apart from that, we'll just try to implement some methodologies through which we can just build the complete Docker simultaneously, not just waiting sequentially, and which takes a lot of time. And we'll be using Turbo Prune per service so that whatever the changes are there, according to that, only that particular Docker image should rebuild. So this is new next week's plan. So yeah, since the past week, we were just working on making the fitness more lighter and making it more developer friendly and more junior developer and making it more possible to work on a PC with lower resource, maybe 16 GB of RAM or could be 8 GB of RAM too. So these are the plans and basically, okay, let me show you one more thing. Uh, Wait a second, let me get up. So yeah, these were the PRs which we have merged last week. Like this is related to the removal of Kafka, and here we have just removed Ulama, and we didn't had that like change the code much. It is just that removing the Ulama configuration from the YAML file of the Docker, and which is basically scaffold.yaml. Here we just deleted the Olama stuff and which just made us that whatever the Olama thing which was integrated in the Docker email, it won't be now integrated and it will just use the Olama from the user side of the thing. So this is it and we'll just keep on pushing more this features which makes Docker build more faster and just reduces the amount of time while building. So this is for today's meet and hope like till the next 2 week we'll be just doing that and make trying to make the build more faster. So this is for the today's meet. I think everyone is busy and since their exam is going on, so that's fine. And we'll just work on this and whosoever sees this later, they can just contact. And till then, have a good day. See you. Bye bye.